Well, hey there everybody, welcome to my booth. Today we're taking a listen to a sample sent in by you. If you'd like to receive feedback just like this or similar, there's a form in the description of this video. Fill it out, send me some audio, and we'll put you in a video just like this one sometime down the line. This sample is from Victor. Take it away, Victor.
Preface. I wrote this book because I've had several relationships, most of which were good experiences and happy for the most part. With that said, my marriage ended after 5 years in divorce with 3 very young children. A period of introspection followed, which involved learning about myself and other people within the context of relationships.
So, quick pause. Victor, I love it so far. You were curious specifically about your overall sound quality, how to reduce mouth sounds, and reducing the nasality of your voice. We'll start by talking about the overall quality of your recording. Honestly, it sounds great to me. There is, however, one small thing that you might consider that'll just improve some of the quality of your recording. There's a bit of sibilance going on. When you say your S's, sometimes they just get a little whistly. That's me being a bit exaggerated. But there are a few tools that you might consider using to just reduce or tame those a bit. The first is an equalizer. Again, I don't know what software you're using to edit or what tools you have access to. Some of these will be pretty general, but if you have specific questions, feel free to reach out. For most of us, sibilance happens in a range between about 3,500 hertz up to about 8,000 hertz. And the way that you can find those in an equalizer is if you're using one like this, you can just pull this band up a lot. And then if I go down here, this is the node that I'm using in this one, number 4. I turn the Q way up so it's a really sharp peak. The Q is this Q width, and I've turned the gain really high. I can listen, and I'll sweep this frequency up and down a bit to see where the S's are really living. So we'll listen to this and see if we can hunt one out.
With that said, my marriage ended after 5 years in divorce with 3 very young children. A period of introspection followed, which involved learning about myself and other people within the context of relationships. With that said.
So that's a pretty sharp little S there. So what we'll do is pull the gain down to about minus 3.5, widen this Q out a bit so that it's just a little bit of a scoop. We're taking a little bit of the frequency information out there, and now we'll listen to it.
With that said.
So it's just a little bit softer.
With that said.
So that's with and without the EQ.
With that said.
So it's a slight difference, but it just tames things a smidge. The other option, tool you can have is simply a de-esser. They have tools built for specifically this purpose. Again, this is Isotope's de-esser. You can try any of these presets. You want to be kind of careful with these because sometimes they can be a little bit aggressive in the de-essing department where they take out a lot more information than they need to, which is generally why I prefer to use the EQ solution. But we'll give this a listen.
With that said.
You can see how it dips down. We'll try it without.
With that said.
And with.
With that said.
So again, 2 tools for you that'll just slightly improve that specific range of frequency. If you have questions, let me know. As far as mouth sounds and mouth clicks, saliva pops, whatever you want to call it, I honestly don't hear very many of those, which means that you are well hydrated, you're performing well, you're taking care of yourself. You can, of course, hear some. You're human. We're all human. They're gonna be in the recording. But assuming that you're drinking enough water, taking little sips here and there just to wet the palate, etc., that's really all that you can do practically speaking. If you want to talk about editing-wise, I've talked it up many, many times in the past, but I use Isotope's Mouth Declicker. It's part of their RX audio repair suite. They also have a straight-up just declicker. You can purchase the Essentials pack for about $99, and then the Standard pack, I think, is around $400. both of them will get the job done. These are the settings that I use personally for the declicker. So to start off with, we'll play this little next section because there are a few really, really subtle mouth sounds that happen. We'll do an A-B comparison. So this is without the declicker.
I immersed myself in numerous books on relationships and personal development.
So there are a few, particularly at the end there when you say personal development.
And personal development.
Again, nothing that I would get up in arms about if I were to hear that. But now we'll try it with the plugin.
I immersed myself in numerous books on relationships and personal development.
So it just eliminates pretty much all of them. We'll do one more time without.
And personal development.
And one more time with.
And personal development.
So it's really subtle. If you can't hear it, I would recommend going back and plopping some headphones on yourself and giving it another go. But that would be the next thing that I would recommend. If you're using Adobe Audition to record your stuff, they also have a built-in automatic click remover, which you can give a try. They have these light reduction presets. You can start off there and then tweak it to see what's working for you, what maybe should be lessened. But overall, mouth sounds, I wouldn't sweat it too much. But if you want to be clean, go with that. And then as far as nasality, let's listen to the rest of your recording, and then I'll talk a bit more about that. Little spoiler for that, though. I don't think you have a very nasal voice, but we'll listen to it and talk more in a sec.
I immersed myself in numerous books on relationships and personal development, eagerly seeking to apply the knowledge I gained from them. After 4 years, I found myself back with my ex-wife and family. We both rekindled our relationship as people who had grown and evolved. I want to use those experiences and my learning during those times to help others make the most of their relationships. Another reason for writing this book is that throughout my life I've been viewed as someone that people can come to for a shoulder to cry on and for advice and guidance.
Victor, I just want to say that your pacing and the comfort and ease with which you're narrating here, well done. It's really, really nice. You make me feel at ease. I can understand everything you're saying, and the pace that you move through everything is just so lovely. So kudos for that. Regarding the nasality of your voice, I really don't think that you have a tremendous amount of nasality going on. If we wanted to get really nasal, this is getting like exceptionally congested and nasal. And really, it's a sort of subtle thing, and it goes to a lot of like voice training stuff. But I would recommend, if you really want to like dive into it, it would sort of be a longer process of like working on your vocal technique and whatnot. But there's a thing in terms of the flow of your breath. You have a great flow, I think, generally. And the only thing that I would advise that might be actionable for you right now, and honestly, it'll probably kind of help with the little swallowing sounds that you'll get right before you launch into the next section, the little bits. That's me being very exaggerated. You did not do that. But if you take a second and you just let yourself gather yourself, you just swallow, take a breath, and then go into the next section. Having that moment to gather yourself and then let the breath flow through instead of feeling like you need to keep moving. You can always edit if the pause is too long or if you feel that. But in all honesty, longer pauses are usually fine, at least to my taste. So just taking a second, swallow, take a breath, and then move into the next spot. Having enough breath support tends to bring me, at least, further from feeling like I need to press through a sentence where I tend to get more nasally and forward placed in my voice and my instrument. Whereas if I'm relaxed, I tend to have a bit more global resonance. I can feel my voice in my chest. I can feel it in my throat. I can feel it in my head. Instead of just pushing out. So maybe try that, and if you have questions, you can definitely ask me about it down below or reach out on my website. But all in all, Victor, I think really, really lovely work, and I hope this was helpful for you. And if you have any other questions, let me know. For those of you who are watching this, I also hope this was helpful. If you'd like to support us, clicking the buttons down there, the couple seconds it takes helps other folks find us, and we appreciate the support. If you want to go a step further, you can either buy me a coffee or use the YouTube Super Thanks thing. Both support me in these efforts directly and help me to make more stuff. Until the next one of these, be well, and I'll see you then. Toodles.